Hey RMP faithful, this is Over Easy Stevie, and I would like to thank you for listening to RMP Radio, where pro wrestling is elevated.
Your generations out here wishing for good. My generation's on the front lines wishing they would give it a rest. Don't test, you'll be severed for good. Don't get ahead of me. You never survive in our neck of the woods. We've come a pretty long way. There's so much I could say. It's never really gone away. I feel it in my bones. Like a bright light through it all. I'll never let it go.
RMP Radio is back on the air. Hi, I am your host, Mr. Fourth Row, and joining me for a very special episode I've got from the commentary team at Rocky Mountain Pro. You guys see him on Ignition, you see him on Charge, you see him on the pay-per-views, Mr. Lucas Bradwell. Lucas, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good, Mr. Fourth Row. This is the most exciting time of the year. It's Milestone Week. We're a day away. In 24 hours, we will be there for the biggest show in Rocky Mountain Pro history.
Yeah, number 12, Milestone 12. Can you believe Rocky Mountain Pro is 12 years old?
12 years. That's unbelievable. I've been there for 10 of them. So it's a privilege and an honor to be calling my 10th milestone.
Wow.
I can't believe the growth of this company over these past 12 years, where it started and now where we are today. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I started, I think, at milestone 7, which was I'd say, of course that was probably my favorite because that was my first. They say you never forget your first.
Yeah, that was back at the Quarry. Yes, that was Yaden taking up back the ownership of his company in that great steel cage match.
Yeah, that was great, and just Titus sucks,
Yes.
that whole thing too. That was crazy. Him and Hoodie, and I mean everything else too, and for example, I remember Naya and Royce Isaacs having a hell of a match too.
Oh yeah, that was one of the best matches I've ever called. It's still to this day, it's probably one of my top 3 or 4 matches that I've ever called. So definitely a memorable milestone, but I believe this milestone is going to have some more memorable moments, and we've got just a stacked card. I can't believe the matches that we're going to be seeing at milestone 12.
Yeah. So speaking of which, we should probably just get right into it. We're going to start off the night with the return of the Colorado Cup being attached to Milestone. This is going to be right before Milestone. There may be immediate implementation. Yeah, immediate things happening.
Implications. Yes, you're absolutely
this,
right. Yes.
After Colorado Cup, so we don't necessarily know how many. We don't know who is going to be in it. We don't know. There may be some surprises. Well, we hope there's surprises. I mean, would you agree?
Almost every year there's some surprises. Last year we had a huge surprise. Marlon Bishop showed up and damn near won the thing.
Yeah.
And if you recall it looked like he was going to win against an injured Balaam Lynx, but Balaam Lynx pulled off the greatest Colorado Cup performance of all time and won that Colorado Cup, and that skyrocketed his career. Look at the year that Balaam Lynx has had since then. Unbelievable year Balaam Lynx has had. So whoever wins this year's Colorado Cup, I think they can expect to have kind of the same type of rocket tied to their back as far as their career goes, because it really puts you into the spotlight here at Rocky Mountain Pro.
Yeah, it definitely, pun intended, elevates that talent to from where they're at now to the upper tier of Rocky Mountain Pro. Like I said, Balaam last year. I remember, when I came into Rocky Mountain Pro, I think it was Humphrey Jacobs the first was the current Colorado Cup winner at the time, and then that little thing with him and Anaya with that thing, that little feud that they had going with all that. I mean, it just leads on from the time it happens to the next year, the next time the Colorado Cup happens.
Yeah, it's like I said, it can really take a career and get it to that next level. And like you said, the winner of the Colorado Cup will go on to be the number one contender at Shocktober for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship. That's always a huge deal when you're getting to wrestle for the biggest prize in our company.
Yeah. So if you had to speculate of who you think might be in it, and do you have any thoughts about who could come up in it again this year? I mean, would Bishop come back again, and because he was that close last year?
Yeah, we haven't seen Marlon Bishop since then, but knowing that guy and knowing what kind of shape he stays in, he's probably ready for it, and I wouldn't put it past him. There's been a lot of speculation of guys that could be in town and that are around, so you never know. A former Rocky Mountain Pro champions could be in it. And plus, there's a lot of out-of-state guys that we've had over this past year that I've heard are making the trip. So a guy who was a former number one contender, he had a title match at our last pay-per-view at the Peak of the Pack. Justin Taylor, he could be in it. So there's a lot of guys with very high caliber talent that could be part of this. And, with a lot of hungry guys that we have here at Rocky Mountain Pro that have really, their careers have started to take off. There's a lot of guys that I'm starting to put some Las Vegas odds on who is the kind of the odds-on favorite. There two guys in particular that I kind of have as early favorites to win the Colorado Cup. One guy that I'll start off with would have to be Brumach. You think about how Brumach has just continually gotten better and more dominant. We saw this just this past Tuesday night on Ignition. He was able to get a victory over his kind of nemesis as of late, Derek Stone. That was very impressive.
Yeah. And
so Brumach has a lot of momentum as going into Milestone. He could be a big favorite. He'll be one of the biggest individuals in this Colorado Cup. I'd have to put Brumach as a early favorite. If he's going to be in it, I would assume he's going to be in it.
Right.
And another guy that we're not sure if he'll be in it, but I would assume so. Another big guy who's had a pretty solid start to his career, and that's Killian Crow. Those two guys, Brumach and Killian Crow, either one of those guys, I would say have a good chance of winning the Colorado Cup. And if they do, boy, the RMP roster better look out, because their careers are going to take off.
Oh yeah, definitely. And and like you said, there's no telling who's going to be in this thing. We do get at the beginning of the year, we got a little bit of I would call it maybe a little bit of a preview when we do the Rumble at the Loud House with the in conjunction with the Colorado Mammoth at the Ball Arena. And for example, Killian had a great performance in that, so maybe he's got a little learning experience from participating in that, and he can translate that into fashioning maybe a victory for the Colorado Cup. Yeah,
you make a great point. That was a good learning opportunity for a lot of the guys that are going to possibly be a part of this Colorado Cup. That Rumble at the Loud House, that was a big chaotic match, and so something like that. Plus, we just saw a battle royal this past Thursday on Charged. Sledge won the Charged championship. But, there was a couple guys that made a very good showing in that match. Remy D thought he won the matchup. So, and we'll get to more of that here in just a little bit. But, this Colorado Cup, it's going to be probably the most unpredictable match of the year. So that it definitely, you do not want to miss it. That's part of the pre-show. That'll be absolutely free on our Twitch, Twitch channel. So make sure you go to twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro. Catch that. It'll be free on the pre-show. And the rest of it, you got to order on Fight.
Yeah, and of course, we would be amiss, too, to tell listeners, if you are here in the area, you're going to want to get tickets. You do need to get that early entry ticket to watch the Colorado Cup in the Wimmer Arena. There's different tiers of tickets, so there's the early entry. We also have meet and greet with D'Lo Brown and Josh Matthews and much more, too, before the show happens as well. So those tickets, of course, you can get on our website at rmpwrestling.com and click on that events link, and you'll see everything that you need to know about your price. There was early entries and things like that. So if you want to see it in person, live, as it's recorded live, if I can borrow a phrase from our champ Bruce Wayans, you definitely want to do that.
Yeah, you got to work on that a little bit. We'll do that at the Wimmer. We'll work on that.
So with Milestone 12, after we get the Colorado Cup, we're going to kick off the show. We've got a wonderful musical group, Wonderland. They're going to be performing the theme song, and they're also the official hosts of Milestone 12.
Right. Well, Wonderland, yes.
Yeah.
Wonderland is that's the new faction. You've got the White Rabbit and the Three Ring Circus and Hazard. They're going to be the official hosts.
Yeah.
For Milestone. Yeah. And Heartsick Heroine, they're going to be performing live. So, we're going to have live music. This is going to be the biggest, not only the biggest match as far as matches and performances, but this is going to be the biggest produced Milestone that we've ever had.
Oh yeah, and you and I both know, being behind the scenes, you guys are going to want to see this. There's some amazing things that are going to be happening. It's going to be off the hook, like the kids used to say.
Yeah. Yeah. The entrance has been modified at the Wimmer. There's been a lot of work that's been done. Yeah, and it's going to be unbelievable to see. So yeah, like I said, if you can't be there live, order it on Fight, because this is can't miss. Just even from a production level, from an entertainment standpoint, this is going to be the best and biggest Milestone we've ever had.
Yeah. So first match out of the gate that we've got happening, and you guys have seen the lead up to this with a lot of things that have been happening between these two, as well as Remy D is getting in the mix a little bit with the Remy D. We got Zamore versus Echo. What do you think about this starting off the show?
Oh man, this is going to be a contrast of styles, an extreme contrast of styles, because you've got Echo, who is the most unique offense. He has probably the most versatile offensive arsenal in all of Rocky Mountain Pro. High paced, high flying, and then you've got Zamore, who is the exact opposite, likes to just pound you down, strength. And yeah, there's been some bad blood between these two. Zamore has felt disrespected by a lot of the roster, but especially by Echo.
Yeah.
And those two used to be friends. They kind of had helped each other over the past year or so, especially against the Wake, and thought things were good. But obviously there's some bad blood, and now you add Bud Bellflower to the mixes. He is in the corner of Zamore. It's going to be trouble for Echo. He's going to have to, I think he's going to have to change up his offense a little bit, because Zamore is going to be ready for just about anything that Echo throws at him. So and he cannot, I'll emphasize this again, he cannot get grabbed, get held by Zamore, because if he gets put in that front chancery, it is all over.
Yeah, so true. From there, we're going to have a tag team match. We're going to get two guys that have come up through the Rocky Mountain Pro ranks together in the trenches. They're tag teaming up. Killing Crow, Kendrick LaRoe versus Derek Stone, and a returning talent that we've seen many times, Lord Mitchell Taylor. What do you see on this? A lot of big men.
This is going to be a very, very interesting tag team match. Every every individual in this matchup is a big guy.
Yeah.
There isn't any little guys in this matchup. Every guy is, well over 6 foot tall, well over that 250-pound mark. But God, you gotta kind of almost feel bad for Kendrick Rowe and Killian Crow because of the experience that they're giving up against Derek Stone. And there's almost 50 years of wrestling experience between Lord Mitchell Taylor and Derek Stone, in compared to just a barely over a year between Kendrick Rowe and Killian Crow.
Yeah.
It's a night and day difference as far as that. So Killian Crow and Kendrick Rowe, they're going to have to use their athleticism. They're going to have to use, their youth to be able to overcome what Derek Stone and Lord Mitchell Taylor are going to bring, because those two are wily, crafty veterans, and they're big guys. They're big, strong guys. So this is going to be a very tough matchup for Crow and LaRoe. One thing they'll have Coach in their corner.
That's what I was just going to ask.
And Coach, he's been pretty darn good for Kendrick Rowe. We've seen a lot of growth out of Kendrick Rowe as he's brought Coach into the fold, and we'll see what kind of game plan Coach has drawn up. Coach draws a lot of strength from Tom Brady. He considers it. He's never let me forget that Tom Brady has tweeted him a few weeks ago, and he hasn't let me forget about that. So he thinks he's best friends with Tom Brady now. But besides that, I think Coach is gonna be a factor in this matchup. So there's a possibility for a big upset with Kendrick Rowe and Killian Crow, but it's gonna be a tough uphill climb.
Yeah, so true. So from there, if I could be so bold, we're going to go from a beastly of a match to a beauty of a match. The Lockett's Championship. Our defending champion, Christy Janes, versus Hosaka for the championship. Your take here.
This could be the show stealer. It could be. I know there's some other really good matches, but you take a look at the talent between these two ladies. Malia Hosaka she's a legend. Let's face it. She doesn't get the credit she deserves, but she's a legend. She has been an NWA Women's World Champion. She's wrestled on almost every major promotion all around the world, held titles. She is probably as good as any Lockett that's ever stepped foot in a ring at Rocky Mountain Pro. And then you've got Christy Janes, who is probably on top of her. She's in her prime right now. She's on top of her game. There's very few ladies in the entire world that are wrestling at her level. So this match has the potential to be one of the greatest Lockett's matches we've ever had, maybe one of the greatest matches we've ever had at Milestone. This could be a potential for match of the year. I really think this could steal the show. I don't really know. This is kind of a coin flip on who's going to win, because I think they're so evenly matched up. Christy Janes, she has a little bit of an edge when it comes to the athleticism, but obviously when it comes to the experience, Malia Hosaka's got a clear advantage there. It's a toss-up. I really don't know who's going to win this match, but I think the fans are going to be the winner at the end, because this is going to be a tremendous match.
Yeah, and what about, too, the recent victory that Malia Hosaka has had with that Queen's Gambit? You think that's going to benefit her, or you think it may have taken something out of her since she just recently got through that to get this title opportunity?
I think it's going to help her. I really do. I mean, now she understands what it is to be part of this Lockett's division, as she faced, basically every Lockett in our company.
Yeah.
She got through it. It was a grueling matchup, but she got through it. So now she understands just how good this division is, and now she's going up against the best that we have. Plus, so I think there's I think she's got a little bit of a momentum advantage going into this matchup.
Okay, well, that's gonna be exciting to see. I'm excited to see that because this could, like you said, this could be the. I mean, all these matches are. This one, could be just because of like the wily veteran, the current champ getting in there, mixing it up. So, all right, from there, we just recently got this announced. It's official. We got a tag team championship defense on the line at Milestone 12. The champs, JK Pop, going to go against Full Send. Full Send's back in the picture to regain, well, it's hard to say regain because it was stricken, but I guess gain those championship titles. What do you see on this whole gambit of craziness with the tag team championships that's been happening as of late?
Well, thanks to Preston Skidmore. I'm trying to get his name right. I'm trying to give the guy a little bit of credit, as much as I don't like him. Yeah. But thanks to him, we had all this madness. It's really been just it's been chaos as far as what's going on with the tag team division, what's going on with the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship. But finally, President Dean got something back into order. We've now got clear number one contenders, deserving number one contenders in Full Send. They're finally, now they can legitimately say that they are tag team champions if they can beat JK Pop at Milestone. There's no special stipulations, none of that crap. It's going to be just whoever wins the match gets the 1, 2, 3 or the submission. That's who's going to walk out the Rocky Mountain Pro Tag Champions. And Full Send, they are as hot of a tag team as I've seen in a long time. I mean, they're just racking up wins. They seem like a well-oiled machine. They're at the top of their game right now. And I'm actually quite surprised of how well they've been working together in just kind of a short amount of time. They've been a tag team for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And they've been on a roll. But when you go up against a team like JK Pop, who's been teaming for years and years, and they know each other so well, they work together as a tag team like probably no other tag team in the world. It's still going to be tough. But I think Full Send can pull this out. They just need to bring their A game. They beat. Let's not forget. I know what the record says, but they did. We saw it with both our eyes, both our pairs of eyes. They beat JK Pop, regardless of whatever legal shenanigans was pulled. They beat them. They could do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, and and too, the one thing I noticed with Full Send as of late, it seems like just when you don't think they're going to get that victory, that victory comes quickly and swift.
Yeah, they've got some new moves in their arsenal. David Drake has he's been phenomenal, and Owen Easton has been very good for a long time. But now those two are working together on the same page at a very high level. Yeah, they can pull off a victory in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. So from the craziness that is the tag team championship, we're gonna go to something that's gonna be, well, let's just face it, this has gotten way too personal. Our next match, Damon Ace versus Balaam Lynx.
Oh, I don't even know where to begin with this, to be honest with you. This it is probably the most personal, bitter rivalry that I've ever seen, and we've seen some very bitter rivals over the past 12 years of this company. But this one, these guys are former best friends, and when I say best friends, I'm talking going back to childhood. And what we saw this past charged just last night was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen
from
an individual. I mean, Damon Ace, what he did to his own father, it's just reprehensible. And Balaam Lynx was like a brother. They grew up, Balaam Lynx knew Damon's dad very well. Damon Ace's dad had treated Balaam Lynx like his son, and to see that, it was heart wrenching. And I just what lengths will Damon Ace not go to? You know, he every time you don't think the guy can get any lower, he goes even a dive deeper. It's unbelievable what this guy is capable of to do. Unfortunately, it won't be for any titles because these guys could not keep their hands off one another during this time period. You know, Danger Dean made the mandate that they were not to put their hands on one another before Milestone. Obviously, they weren't able to do that, and now we're getting to this point. I don't think one of these guys might not be able to walk out, or maybe neither one of them will be able to walk out at Milestone on their own, because I think they're just going to beat the hell out of one another.
Right, yeah, and they have had some brutal matches in the past. You know, the First Blood match that they had a little while ago, it didn't end there. It's still continuing on with this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping this will be the end, but it's going to be hard to watch. It really, I don't know where these two will stop to get revenge on one another. I have a funny feeling that it's going to get even worse than what we've seen so far.
Yeah. So from there, and we are definitely going to need it. We're all going to need it. Everybody that's in attendance, everybody that's watching on Fight TV, we're going to take an intermission. We're going to put an intermission in here for everybody to take a breath, because we are already speculating that match with Damon and Balaam is going to be brutal, with a capital B and exclamation points on the end of that word. So we're going to do an intermission. We're going to have Wonderland is going to come out as your host, kind of get everybody reset for the second half of the show. So that'll be fun to see what happens there. Any thoughts about the intermission with Wonderland? And
yeah, that's going to be entertaining. You got to think, when you've got people, I use that term loosely, but when you have Mr. Happy and Monster 9 and Hazard and, of course, the White Rabbit, what kind of antics will they be able to pull off? You know how entertaining they all are. It's going to be fun to watch. I think they're going to be great hosts for Milestone. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so true. And since we were kind of talking about a little bit of halftime, some things that we've, of course, seen recently, especially on the last few episodes of Charged, is that we've been without Reagan Grimes for a while because she got hauled off by the orderlies, and now we've seen everything all the craziness that she's been dealing with lately of these last few weeks on Charged. But it is now, we saw the handout, the hand ups. We got the information that Reagan is going to be returning to Milestone 12. What do you think? What's she gonna be all about at Milestone 12?
Watching this play out over the past, what has it been, 2 months?
Yeah.
This has been very bizarre to watch. I don't know what you call them, therapy sessions, I guess, with this Dr. Stryker.
Quote unquote.
And we've seen different variations of Reagan, different personalities that he's tried to, get to the bottom of and get out of her. And what we saw on this last charge, it looks like a kind of a different variation of the Reagan Grimes that we saw get carried away by the orderlies. Now this one that looks like this is going to be the one that's going to show up at Milestone. This is going to be very interesting, and it sounds like Salem Wolf, who we haven't got a very clear look of. Yeah. That Salem Wolf is going to be with her.
Yeah. So Salem is being very helpful, it looks like, to Reagan and getting her out getting her, get her back in action, getting us getting her to return to us here for the Rocky Mountain Pro faithful.
Yeah, she's going to be it's going to be unpredictable. We don't know what she's going to be doing. Will she have I assume she's going to be having a match with whom, we don't know.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a very interesting to see this new version of Reagan Grimes.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and I know a lot of people are going to be excited to see Reagan back in action. All right, so from there, this is another recent development in the world of Rocky Mountain Pro. We saw this a few weeks ago because we just mentioned that how Damon and Balin were stripped of their respective titles. We had a battle royal to determine the brand new charged champion, and the victor, after all that was said and done, was the Metalhead Maniac Sledge, and we're going to be defending against Remy D, which they've had some a little bit back and forth going on too. So what do you see on this happening here at Milestone?
Well, Sledge, he won that battle royal. He outsmarted everyone. Let's give the guy credit. He outsmarted everyone.
Yeah.
Remy thought that he'd won the battle royal. It looked to everyone, but then we forgot Sledge was waiting on the outside, came from behind, knocked Remy over. Sledge, he's a brutal guy. He's a physical guy, but he's also very smart. And, he's been doing this for a long time. And now he's got a title, which when he came to Rocky Mountain Pro, that's always kind of been his number one goal, was to be a champion. He, nearly became the Rocky Mountain Pro champion. Now he is the charged champion. He's very proud of that. He's been gloating about it a lot on his Twitch channel. And so, he's ready to have a title defense. But Remy has been hungry for a title, and Remy is a fan favorite. Remy probably has as much of a fan following as anyone that we've had here at Rocky Mountain Pro in such a short amount of time. I can't think of the last time that someone within their first year has created this sort of buzz about them and has really electrified the crowd as much as Remy. This is going to be an exciting matchup, kind of a contrast in styles. Remy's got to make up for the inexperience that he's given up to Sledge. Yeah. Sledge is going to want to have to be very physical, because if you let Remy get on a roll, that's when Remy's at his most dangerous. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup to watch.
Yeah, and I'm seeing this, dude. Remy's on this fantastic roll, the great performance at the Grand Prix. I thought I won this battle royal for the Charge Championship, but then Sledge, sorry, not sorry, if I can borrow his hashtag.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. And, I know I've talked to Remy quite a lot. And, one thing that we've kind of agreed on is sometimes you just have to wage war.
Yeah, Remy's going to have to show the beast side. The beauty's going to have to kind of take a step back for the night, because the beast is going to need to come out if Remy is going to want to walk out as the charged champion.
Yeah. So from there, we got another kind of, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Where you got Yaden versus Curtis Cole, two former best friends. Everything that happened from Peak of the Pack, Curtis letting him down, and I think this just feels like it's, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, as the cliche goes. I mean, what do you think about that?
I'd have to disagree. I'd have to say that Yaden is finally done with Cole's crap. Okay, Cole, for a long time, it kind of, it's been kind of wishy-washy with the whole team thing. Sometimes it seems a little bit disinterested. I don't know if that's the word, but just it hadn't seemed very happy for a while. But to pull the crap that he pulled on Yaden, bringing Skidmore into it to screw his former tag partner, and then conspire with Martin Casals. To me that it was just it was kind of petty and childish. I'm hoping that Yaden finally just says, you know what, I'm tired of trusting people that I called my best friends, because this ain't the first time this has happened to him.
Yeah.
And I think he's finally getting tired of it, and he'll just start doing business on his own.
Looking for number one.
Yeah, because he's been he's helped a lot of people over the years in this company. Heck, me and you included. Yeah. And for a guy like Curtis Cole to just kind of spit on that, I kind of even take exception for that. So I'm looking forward to Yaden kicking the crap out of Cole at Milestone.
Yeah. And, and to be fair, we haven't seen Curtis Cole in quite a while. We have basically heard not a lot from him. So we don't know in what kind of ring shape, mental state, any of that he's going to be coming into Milestone 12.
Yeah, you're right. We don't know, but knowing Cole, like I've known Cole for quite a few years, he'll be ready for this matchup. I think he's laying low. I don't think he wants to play all of his cards. He knows how well Yaden knows him. So I think this is a little bit of a psychological game that he's playing by not being around. Yeah. So I think he'll be ready. I'm just hoping that we'll see kind of the old Yaden, that he's just going to come out and be the warrior that we know Yaden to be.
Yeah. So that's a great lead into our next match. Speaking of psychological gameplay, our NRW champion, Stephen Ashburn, taking on Atiba for the NRW Championship, and we finally got the information on what match this is going to be. It's going to be a ladder match. Now, before I get your input on this, my kind of thoughts, and I've been saying this for quite a while, and I'm going to give the listeners a little bit of fan service. We've got all the acolytes from both these competitors, Stephen Ashburn being the first student, everything that he's accomplished in Rocky Mountain Pro and in the world of professional wrestling. Same with Atiba, two-time Rocky Mountain Pro champ, the youngest champ, for Rocky Mountain Pro as well. You put those in the scales of justice, and these things balance out. What do you think about that?
I think that was a wonderful analysis. Honestly, yeah. There's, it's kind of like anything you can do, I can do better. They really, they for every accolade that one has, the other one has another one, and to compete for the NRW Championship, which is kind of a reincarnation. It's a different variation of the old NRW Championship, obviously, because it's kind of a no rules wrestling belt, kind of a hardcore title where wrestling are done under different stipulations. So now you've got two of the greatest competitors in Rocky Mountain Pro history going at it for kind of a nostalgic belt in a ladder match. There hasn't been a whole lot of ladder matches over the history of Rocky Mountain Pro. I can probably count most of them on one hand. So this is going to be historic, and this is back-to-back years for Atiba, kind of being in a different stipulation of a match at a Milestone. We remember last year that great match that he had against Severino Corrente, and now going up against the guy the caliber of Ashburn, and when, like you said, Ashburn is the master of the mind games. I don't think anyone plays mind games better than Stephen Ashburn, but I think if he has one weakness, it's his ego. If somehow Atiba can get to the ego of Stephen Ashburn, it could play a prominent role in this ladder match. And we know just how quick and how sudden Atiba can be. He's got to take advantage of that in a match like this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, like I said, I really think this is going to be a complete toss-up. for who's going to be victorious in this match, and I think the fans in attendance and the fans that are watching on Fight TV are going to get a gem of a match.
I agree.
All right. So speaking of gem, the top jewel here, Rocky Mountain Pro, the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship is going to cap off our night. That's what we got coming up here next. We got the champion Bruce Wayans taking on Marty Casaus, weaseling his way into the championship title after what we've seen. Your analysts on this?
So, in my opinion, this is the biggest challenge to date for the final boss, Bruce Wayans. Martin Casaus probably is the most accomplished wrestler that Bruce Wayans has ever faced. You think about Marty's resume, what he's accomplished over his career at a very high level, and you take that on top of his kind of the unknown with Marty. You know, he can be unhinged at times, and that also can come into play. For Bruce is going to have to be at the very top of his game, like we've never seen from him before. Because, Martin Casaus might have weaseled his way into this match, but at this juncture, I would say he's the most dangerous threat to Bruce Wayne's title.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird variables in this match. We do know the champ likes to have a lot of fun in his matches. But we've also got Marty that's on the other side of the ring on him, likes to get a little crazy and weird himself sometimes. So I think Bruce needs to not feed into that or take that really too lightly, because I think Marty has a plan in effect when he's doing that to kind of throw off his opponent.
Oh, absolutely. At times you think Marty doesn't know what he's doing. It looks like he doesn't have his wits about him. But I can assure you that at all times Marty is in control, and Bruce Wayans does not want to take his eye off the ball, because Martin Casaus will take advantage of that.
Yeah, so true. So there we have it, listeners. There's your card for Milestone 12. It's our biggest yet milestone. It's going to be colossal. If I could use a word, if you guys have been seeing some of the previews for it, you'll get that for Milestone 12. Lucas, so what do you think about this card as a whole?
I would say it's probably the most stacked card, and you think about that the talent that is going to be here at Milestone. For the most part, it's all been homegrown Rocky Mountain Pro talent. That shows you just how good the talent, how good this roster is that we currently have, that they were able to full a card like this at the biggest event of the year with the majority of homegrown talent. That says a lot about what's been done at the Al Snow Wrestling Academy and just what's been done at Rocky Mountain Pro. I so proud of this entire roster. I think it's going to be a historic milestone, probably going to be the biggest milestone we've ever had. And like I said, from a production standpoint, I guarantee you've never seen anything quite like this.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great viewing, great entertainment. Trust me, listeners. Now, let me also remind you, as listeners, if you are in the area, you got to get tickets for Milestone 12. Head over to our website at rmpwrestling.com. Click on the events link. Order your Milestone tickets right there. You additionally, too, of course, follow the all the Rocky Mountain Pro superstars, your commentating team, your RMP Radio host, all of us. We also send out you links to remind you to purchase those tickets as well. Of course, order on Fight TV. It is up as of this recording. It is right there ready for you to order. And then, of course, Lucas, would you also agree that they need to then come back the next day and watch our next set of charge recordings?
Absolutely. 2 sets of tapings. So yeah, there'll be 2 opportunities. If you can make them both, great. But if you can get there for one or the other, there'll be one starting in the late morning or early afternoon, and then one going into the early evening. So yeah, there'll be, I believe, 8 episodes being taped. 6 to 8. I'm not
Enough-
quite sure.
Enough for 2 months to get us.
Yeah,
Basically
yeah, it'll be
yeah.
enough. Yes, to get us to our next pay-per-view, which will be NRW. So that's
yeah, got that on the horizon.
yeah. So we've already got that to look forward to. Yeah, so we've got big tapings. There's going to be a wrestling TV clinic this Sunday with Josh Matthews, D'Lo Brown, Marty Elias. So if you're interested in becoming a part of the professional wrestling in any shape or form, whether it be a wrestler or a referee, a commentator, being part of the production crew, all the backstage stuff, try to make it this Sunday. You can be a part of it. I believe it's $125 to be a part of an all-day clinic, and you get trained by some of the best names in professional wrestling. So if you can be there, be there. And then don't forget, every Tuesday night, it's the Tuesday Night Delight, as you like to call it, and the weekly tradition, Ignition, which I am going to be on commentary each and every Tuesday. So, yeah, we've got so much going on here at Rocky Mountain Pro.
Yeah. It's so, and to piggyback off of what you talked about, Ignition has been heating up. It's been evolving ever since we debuted it back at the beginning of this year. It's been a lot of things. It's not to miss. You know, we originally shouted it out that it was going to be a student showcase, but there's a lot to unravel when it comes to Ignition, and some of that stuff is flowing to the other the other TV to charge and to the pay-per-views. So you need to watch everything Rocky Mountain Pro collectively to get the great RMP experience.
Well, that's right. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying. The roster has developed so nicely that it's even though these a lot of these young talent that you're going to see on Ignition, they're only a few months into their careers, but they look like they've been doing it for years. I mean, it's just the development is so crazy that they're already stars have already been made on Ignition. It's and a lot of already the established talent, they want to be a part of it because of how good it has been. And it's been for a guy like myself who's been around for a decade to be able to call the action of these great young talent. It's been a privilege.
Yeah, it has been great to do that, and of course to watch and talk to these young guys and gals backstage when I see them in the bowels of the Wimmer Arena.
and really quick, just to make sure that everyone knows, there has been kind of a format change to Ignition. We no longer do the pre-show. We go right into the main show at 6:30 Mountain Time. It is free for everyone to watch. You do not have to be a subscriber, but you do have to be a subscriber if you want to be a part of the chat. If you want to chat with the commentary team or chat with some of the stars that are backstage. So you do have to be a subscriber. But yeah, they're no longer a pre-show. We go usually it's about an hour and a half from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. That's Mountain Time. So that's each and every Tuesday.
Yeah, great. Well, Lucas, thank you as always for coming on to RMP Radio, and especially this time to preview Milestone 12. It's going to be epic. It's going to be colossal. Before I do let you go, people wanted to follow you out there on the social media, see your great face, listen to you when you're on Ignition and everything else. Where could they do that?
Yeah, so, every Tuesday night, if you go to our twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro. Yeah, you can talk to me live. Make sure you're a subscriber, though. You talk to me live as I'm doing Ignition. You can also follow me on Twitch at Lucas RMP Encyclopedia. And you can also find me on Twitter at TRMP Voice. Those are my main social media platforms. So make sure you follow me, and hope maybe I'll give you a little bit of inside information once in a while.
Oh yeah, that's what the name all entails right there. All right. Well, once again, Lucas, thank you for coming on. And of course, I know I will see you, and I hope the listeners will come out and see and speak to you this upcoming weekend for Milestone and Charged.
I'll be looking forward to it. It's been a privilege as always, Mr. Fourth Row.
Once again, thank you to Lucas Bradwell for coming on to RMP Radio once again and helping me preview this colossal event known as Milestone 12. I hope what you guys just heard excites you to be with us in person at the Wimmer Arena in Inglewood, Colorado, or be watching on Fight.tv. It is What's on Fight this Friday, June 24th, 2022. Now, we put a lot of episodes out. I put a lot of RMP Radio episodes out this upcoming week, so I'm not going to really rehash a lot of what I already said. You guys know the drill. Want to get merch? Head over to rmpwrestling.com, click on that merch link, hit the merch table, get those in-person exclusives that you can only find there. Events, same thing. Hit up that events page on our website, rmpwrestling.com. You'll see that we got Milestone. And then let's not forget, we're going to have that fallout from Milestone with those Charge tapings. We briefly touched it with it on this episode with Lucas. Next night, 2 sessions, one in the starting in the early afternoon, one a little bit later in the afternoon. We'll have an intermission between the two, so you can take a little bit of break, find something to eat. You can always hit our concession stands that we have at the Wimmer Arena. We've got a lot of things to offer. We've been expanding that menu every single week that we have in events, so you can always eat there. And then remember to watch our shows on twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro, on the youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a comment what you liked about the episodes of Charge, for example. If we like what you have to say, we'll highlight it and give you a kudos there as well. We would greatly appreciate any and all help that you are doing there with watching our product. We definitely enjoy giving to you, the fans, the RMP faithful. And then, of course, you can also watch our episodes on Fight TV, which is also where our pay-per-views are. And one thing I was going to mention, especially with this particular thing, is a lot of our old pay-per-views are still on Fight TV. I know I was looking through and I was rewatching some stuff to kind of get hyped up for Milestone 12. Looking in my back catalog, I saw that I've got Milestone 7 on there. I got Milestone 9, for example. A lot of things. And funny seeing some of the promo shots of a lot of these younger wrestlers, especially one that really popped in my mind. And when I saw it, I was like, look how Tiba has changed from his first promo shots to where he is now, the Rocky, Pro Dragon. So that's great to see that as where. Okay, and then, of course, we also want to remind you to follow us out there on the interwebs, on the socials, rmpwrestling.com, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, all of the username of The Rocky MTN Pro. Once again, I'll phonetically spell that for you. That is The Rocky Mike Tango November Pro. Thank you as always for listening to RMP Radio, where pro wrestling is elevated.